the next thing that we want to look at is troubleshooting slow computers, right? So like one of the things that I notice is I've become that user. So I leave my computer on all the time unless I'm forced to restart it after patching. And I keep a lot of tabs open, and then I open like Power BI and I open PowerPoints, and then I open like a bunch of Word documents, and I have all this stuff open, and all of a sudden my computer starts to act all weird when I get on a Teams call, and I get all mad, but like I refuse to restart it. So I start like closing programs, and then my computer starts to act all funny, and then I have to restart it anyway because I'm the worst.
You're not the worst, man. I do the same thing. Everybody, you know that people in the technical field are always, you know, the hardest on their systems and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I mean, first things first is, you know, start with a reboot for sure. You may have updates pending, and that will bog down your system, right? You may have something else running in the background that's just gone hog wild, like Google Chrome. If you're like me, you've got, you know, 50 open tabs because you pretend that you're the most productive person in the world, but usually it's just like, I'm lazy and didn't do this. So
I'm going to circle back to that thing I opened up later.
Yeah,
and then it's like 3 weeks later and that tab's still open, and you're like,
yeah.
I don't even like
Yeah.
this type of like food that I was looking at.
How did we get here? Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, just it's the hygiene of the whole situation, right? Reboot your computer just to make sure everything's closed out, memories flushed, all that good stuff. But then after that, you know, some of the questions we ask are, you know, most importantly, what is slow? Like,
true,
with so many cloud-based software that's out there now. You know, a lot of the stuff may not be anything that's on your computer at all. You know, it could be an issue with Office 365. I know we're going to get to SharePoint in a little bit, but there are a lot of different things. So take notes. You know, it may not be your internet that's slow, right? Or it may not be Office that's slow or Outlook that's slow. Start understanding what specifically is slow, and that's always a better place to start troubleshooting your issue. You know,
that's a good point. And a quick way to maybe understand whether or not a specific application or something is still on your computer is if you hit Control Alt Delete, it brings up the options to be able to click to the task manager. And if you have the ability to get to the task manager on a Windows machine, they have a beautiful graphical interface now that you can go and look, and you can see what's eating up your RAM, what's eating up your processor, what's eating up your disk, your internet. And so, and it'll give you a percentage of total. And if you start to see things where it's like 80, 90% of your total memory, or 80, 90% of your total CPU or processing speed, like if you start to see those things by one application, I would recommend trying to close the application normally, like go in and like close it down to see if maybe, you know, it's got hung up on a temp file or something like that. And if that doesn't work, you can go into the task manager and right click on whatever it is and say in task, and you can kill it. Doing that's going to maybe lose data. If it's in the app, like on Word or Excel or a document that's open, you're going to probably lose data for that particular document that you have open. But if you're trying to get to something, or you're trying to keep your computer online, like let's say you're trying to desperately get into a presentation meeting or something, and it's all acting weird, and it turns out that Word's just chewing up a bunch of processor, you can end the task yourself. You don't need to call the service desk for that. Kill the task for Word or Excel, or, you know, one of those basic applications that you're familiar with. And hopefully that'll free up enough of the computer's resources that'll give you a chance to do your work until you can properly shut down, and then see if you can reopen the application and deal with the problem. So
absolutely.